Welcome, Lyra, my niece and nephew, 6 and 5. 6 and 5. So they're littles. It's been a fun morning. I was just sharing for those of you that I just hit record. I've been spending my morning with my niece and nephews who stayed the night last night. It's been an adventure, that's for sure. We've had a fun morning. Big giant stuffed bear that they're just like riding it down the stairs. And it's just like perfect chaos, the perfect kind of chaos there is. Oh, little tornadoes, little Texas tornadoes is what they are. I love them so dearly though. Being especially that I'm not yet a mother, they fill me up with all the joy. Getting to connect with them. My inner child gets to come out and gets to play with them as well. Welcome back, darlings. Welcome back. Day 8. No, day 7. Whew, I'm jumping ahead. Timeline hopping. Day 7. Day 7. We've got 3 more mornings together, 3 more morning sessions, and 2 more afternoon sessions. So today, our morning session is all about superabundance. Superabundance. I could have just said abundance, but if you guys are familiar with the gene keys, the codex is in and of itself is super abundance. And I love that. Who doesn't want to just add super onto everything to make it that much more powerful and impactful? And really, that is what we're all calling forward. That is what we are being trained for. Who wants more abundance in their world? And I'm not just talking about monetary money. I'm just talking about the abundance, the overflow in every area of your life where you're just like, thank you. Wow, what a gift. What a blessing. I'm overflowing with love. I'm overflowing with wealth and fulfillment and joy and bliss and happiness. Yeah, I'm in for that too. It's so good to see you all. I am in for more of that. And today we're going to really talk about how we can shift from the needing, wanting energy that actually repels the abundance that we seek into the magnetic attraction and the fulfillment of already being all that we desire and require, which that's what we've been talking about throughout this event, right? From lack to unlimited everything, from believing that we are separate from God, from the source of all reality, from the source of all abundance, and to recognizing that abundance is actually who and what God is. Do we ever think about source, our creator, as limited, or that we'll run out? We'll run out of source. God, there's not enough God to go around. Be careful. You better reserve your God. No, we think of God as unlimited abundance. We think of love as infinite love. And so that is the essence of your core, of your being. So anything that's not that, anything that is lack and limitation and fear is the duality and separation. It is what we've come here to overcome as divine humans, as star-seeded souls. So the reality is most of us have programming, conditioning, and experiences in lack. And maybe you're feeling that and referencing that specifically around the money aspect and piece. Because guess what? You are all being trained. You're being trained to be custodians of new earth abundance, new earth wealth. Because what I know to be true is that energetically and spiritually, those false programs of control and limitation and lack have been dissolved. There has been programs, and I won't get too much into it, but literally programs that have infiltrated the consciousness, but also programs that have been beamed from the moon in the past. The moon was actually a transmitter of limitation. And Steve Noble can also go into that. He has a whole moon matrix meditation to help you disconnect from that. But it's been infiltrating our consciousness to keep us in limitation, to keep us in lack, to keep taking our power. But abundance is really, again, your natural state of existence. It's the divine current that flows through all of creation. And it's not something to externally chase or attain, but something to become, to allow. To recognize yourself as infinite in source is to know that abundance is not just about money, it's about wholeness. It's about divine fulfillment. It's about experiencing overflow in all areas of your life. And specifically with money, we want to reframe and understand that money is a tool. And beyond that, money is, it can be, if you choose to view it through the lens of love, money is love. Money is conscious, it is sentient, and it wants to be loved. It wants to be celebrated, and it wants to be used for good. It wants to be used for good. Just like we would never say that, let's just be bringing this because we're in Texas here. We would never say it's wrong to be angry at the gun in situations where a gun is used to take a life. It would be wrong to be angry at the gun, to hate the gun, and or to hate in general. But instead, we would look at the user, the intention, the consciousness of the person utilizing it. A gun could be used for protection, and it can also be used or to hunt and provide food for a family. But it also can be used as a weapon to take a life. Money can be used and has been used to fuel the distortion on our planet, to fuel the corporations, the companies, the people that hold on to the most amount of money, and they're using it for selfish purposes. And so we have dissolved a lot of those constructs in the energetic space, and now it's trickling down to the physical space. And what I know without a doubt to be true in every cell of my being is that in the coming years, any company, any corporation that is choosing profits over people, any company, any corporation that chooses profits over building a better world is going to fail. They're going to fail. The abundance is going to be ripped away from them, and because the world is changing. And that is not the direction that we are moving collectively. So if those companies do not change and shift, then they will fail. There is going to be, and it's already happening with crypto, a massive wealth redistribution. It's already happening. And so naturally, what's going to happen is people like you are going to be the ones that are going to receive of this wealth, not to hold on to, not to hoard out of fear of not having it again, but to recirculate it back into the world to make a difference. XRP, yeah. And so what's happening is many of us are struggling with abundance and have struggled with abundance. It is intentional that all of us would choose families, lineages, structures, social structures that would tell us that we have to work hard to make money, that money doesn't grow on trees. We live in a world that has told us that money is freedom, right? That's why people come to America, because it's the American dream. And so money, we see it as simultaneously freedom, the key to our own personal freedom, but we also have such a distorted and negative relationship with it. And so if you have struggles in this arena, know that it is a training. You are being trained so that when you do receive abundantly, because you will, that you won't hold on to it from a place of lack or limitation. You won't spend it frivolously on things that you don't need. You will instead be a conscious, deliberate, heart-centered custodian. Currency, C, flowing. Money is meant to flow. Money was never meant to be held onto and stored in a bank account. It doesn't do anything there. It doesn't get to create. And so money wants to create. Money wants to be, it wants to do things. And so again, when we receive it, it's not about like, oh, I got to save. Now I've got to save. I need a massive savings, unless you have a really intentional reason for that savings. If you're saving because you're afraid that something bad is going to happen and you're going to need that money, that is still from a place of the wound. You're still in the wound of money. There's something so incredible to enter into a place where, you know, I'm going to be forever taken care of. I'm going to be provided for. There's times in my life where I have not had money. And then the moment that I get it, you want to know what I do with it? I try to help as many people as I can. It doesn't stay in my presence long sometimes. And I'm okay with that because I know I'm going to be taken care of. I know, I mean, I'm one of the first people that when there's people that are that I can support through my own abundance, when I'm experiencing that abundance, I'm like, who can I help? Where can I put this money? What can I invest in? Oftentimes it's investing in something. What can you invest in? And guess what your number one investment is? Yourself. You are your best investment. So sometimes we take it and we invest it back into ourselves. Sometimes we take it and we share generously with others. We're not meant to, you can see money is, you can see it as a tool, a vessel of exchange. It's a neutral energy. It really is a neutral energy that takes on whatever meaning we assign to it. And so I don't know about you. I am choosing to treat money now. And this was Jolie Dawn. You guys, some of you may know her. She's absolutely incredible. She was my coach and my mentor. She was the one that taught me how to do this event, this 10-day or whatever day event, this summit style event. And she does hers on prosperity. And I remember 3 years ago when I first took that, when I was sitting there in, I think it was call number like 3. And she said, money is your lover. Money is your lover. Can you see money as your lover? Not just as a tool, but as a conscious, sentient being that wants to make love to you. And her question was, how do you treat your lover? How are you treating money? Well, normally, if you have a lover, like a divine union, a partner, your beloved, how would you treat your beloved? Well, you would talk to them every day. You would pour into them every day. You would affirm them every day. Thank you. I love you. You're amazing. You wouldn't ignore it. But how often do we ignore our bank account? We're like, ooh, I don't want to know what's in there, because we're afraid of what we're going to see. Because the moment that we see that number, it feels gross in our body. And so then we avoid it. We not only avoid it, but we kind of just ignore it and pretend it's not there. Or we just pray that we've got enough in our account. We don't manage it. We don't love it. We aren't giving it the attention that it needs. So no wonder, because if you were in a relationship and that's how you were treated, if you were ignored, if you weren't poured into, if you weren't affirmed, if you weren't feeling gratitude, you would leave that relationship, or it would just be a really toxic relationship. So no wonder we have a toxic relationship to money. Still, right? Still. So I just jumped right into it today. I hope that's okay. Normally I do a presence practice, you guys, but we just jumped right into it. And part of me wants to go reverse backwards and like jump into the presence practice, but I just feel like that in of itself just anchored us into present. So if you feel, thank you. If you feel like you might be a little bit more scattered, I invite everybody to put your hands on your heart bringing your consciousness into your heart. And let's just take some big, deep breaths, feeling, sensing, imagining that there is a seed of light, a gold seed of light in your heart, because there is. And on each in breath, drawing all of your consciousness, drawing all of your energy, all of your power back from all people, places, things, realities, dimensions. And as it enters into the 0 point of your heart, it instantaneously becomes cleansed, cleared, and aligned with source. And just breathing out any tension, any stress, breathing out anything that maybe you've picked up throughout your day, anything that's not yours, breathing in presence, breathing in you, and just collecting your energy. Breathing out anything that doesn't belong here. Let's do a few more like that. Breathing in all parts of you and breathing out anything that's not you. Breathing in love, breathing out not love. One more. Make it the best one yet. And just calling in your higher self, your I am presence, your God self, asking to feel them within you and around you, closer now more than ever. Calling in source, creator, God, the universe, the divine, whatever it is, whatever term you use, to be felt again within you and around you. Calling in your divine team of love and light, ancestors, angels, ascended masters, galactic star family. And just allowing yourself to now create and establish your unique personal energy boundary. Establishing your energetic boundaries, dissolving any and all cords that are not serving you, and just feeling your energy field as it shifts. Just noticing the subtleties of energy as you feel more present and anchored in your body in this now moment. Perhaps feeling more held by the divine. Beautiful. Perfect. Awesome. All right. You can open your eyes whenever you're ready. We've got some awesome. Thank you, darling. Awesome. Okay. I love that, Heather. She says, what an eye-opening perspective around money. It makes sense. Treat it as we would treat a lover. Yeah. And last year, I didn't do it this year, but I want to offer it to you guys if this feels expansive. And Heather, I feel that you would really enjoy this. Last year, the ritual was to write a love letter to money. We're not doing that this year. I've got something different that Spirit called forward, but I invite you to write a love letter to money. And in that letter, Alondra, can you clean up the line? Someone's unmuted. In that letter, I invite you to first start out apologizing to money. I'm sorry, kind of like the Ho'oponopono, right? I am so sorry that I neglected you. I'm so sorry that I believed that I wasn't worthy to have you. I'm so sorry that I believed that you were limited. I'm so sorry. Oh, Sylvia. Oh, I love that. Sylvia says, I grew up hearing money is God in action. Ooh, I could feel that in every cell of my body. Money is God in action. I'm writing that down, girl. Thank you. Thank you. I am writing that down. I'm going to put that on my sticky note right here. Money is God in action. Absolutely. Everything is God in action, really, if you think of it that way. But I love just even witnessing God in money. Yes, Amber says she recently did that. She recently wrote a love letter to money. It's a powerful, powerful practice. I just want to offer that to you as an additional bonus. But I've got a different ritual for today. So let's talk more about money. Money, 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 money. So we've been conditioned to both revere, exalt, and despise money simultaneously. Huh. Isn't that a recipe for chasing, 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 and giving your power away and never feeling like you have enough or you are enough? Have you also noticed how our society is also designed to keep us spending, spending, spending? We acquire jobs so that we can work to live. Then we take our money and we choose to spend it on things that we don't need because we're seeking happiness and validation outside of ourselves. We think that if we buy this tool or if we go on this vacation or we have this nice car, that will give me the happiness that I so dearly crave. And we know that here. If you're here, you know that anything outside of us is not the key to our happiness. So we literally enslave ourselves in pursuit of money. But I'm here to tell you guys that the key to material abundance, it actually it lies in your soul aligned service. It lies in you living your highest truth. It lies in you doing something that brings you joy and that you love. That is the key to your highest abundance. Ikigai. Have you guys heard of Ikigai? This is a Japanese term, and it's such a beautiful little Venn diagram where it says if you the trifecta is something that you're great at with something that I think it's four, but something that you're great at, right? You're just naturally really good at. Something that the world needs. The world is like, yes, I need that. That is a tool or something that could support me. And also something that you can make money doing. If we miss any of those pieces, then there's something missing from what it is that we don't feel as fulfilled. So let's talk about the blocks to receiving the abundance that we are. First of all, let's just talk about the fact that if you're in this container, you are a spiritual soul. You are a soul of spiritual service. And it's quite likely that you are living currently, because we're outside of time and space, many, many, many lifetimes where you were a priest, you were a priestess, you were a medicine woman, you were a queen, a king, a prince, royalty. You were either in the church or in spiritual spaces, holding spiritual positions and titles where, guess what? You didn't need to worry about money because you were taken care of. The churches and the spiritual temples, you were taken care of. It wasn't about working for money. Then you're a king and a queen, and it really wasn't about managing money. You were ruling the queendom, the kingdom. So many lives where we just simply didn't know how to manage money. We didn't have to be responsible for money. It's a unique place right now, the time that we're in, where it is actually a spiritual revolution to recognize that money is an empowering tool for freedom, that money can be seen as God in action. That is a revolution of spirituality, because before eons, thousands of years, to be spiritual meant to denounce all material possessions, to give them away. That was the highest form of spirituality. We still see it around India. So we have, even as spiritual beings, we have this belief that spirituality and money actually don't go hand in hand, which is simply not true. So we've been taught to denounce material wealth and to view opulence with skepticism, right? Like, ooh, we've been taught to associate with spirituality as like purity with scarcity. But these outdated programs are no longer serving us, because here we are in the transitionary period as way showers. We are not meant to escape the matrix. We are meant to master the matrix. And how do we master the matrix? We become conscious, deliberate custodians of wealth, of abundance. We're meant to become masterful within the system so that we can change the system. So, learning how to manage money, learning how to make your money work for you, learning the more hidden secrets of the elite wealth and how they've figured out how to work within the system. If you are angry at the elites for figuring out how to work outside the system to capitalize on the wealth, if you are still angry at them, then part of you is withholding your own abundance. If you are in anger at them, then and you are in judgment towards them right now, then you are blocking your ability to receive. You're blocking your ability to be abundant. Instead, we can see and honor that that system is done, that system is leaving. Those people, those families are not going to be the ones ruling our planet from behind the scenes like we're all puppets in the coming century. Their time is done. So let's honor the shadow of our collective consciousness and say, yeah, that was the shadow. Thank you for showing us what doesn't work. Thank you for showing us what it looks like to utilize money in a way that is not serving of our planet, not serving of the collective good, because we now know that we are here to do different. The days of the poor healer and the broke spiritual person are over. The world needs awakened beings like you that can command and direct abundance for the greater good. So again, to judge wealth is creating resistance to it. If you're still feeling judgmental towards others around their money, around their opulence, if you see people traveling the world on private planes and you're grossed out by it, if you're disgusted by it, if you're judging it, and I can understand the carbon imprint, right? There's an aspect where you can say, you know, that's not for me. I want to do it differently. But still, you want to just be in check for where you're still in judgment of others around money, because it's very telling of your own personal judgment and your own stories and your own beliefs around money and what's still blocking you from the abundance that you yearn. So let's talk about shifting from lack to overflow. Abundance is a multidimensional state. Jessica's got her kitty on camera. Fantastic. Cats, spiritual workers, they're amazing. So, what good is financial wealth without love? What good is purpose without health? What true abundance is not just about money. And I think we know that. I think we can see that there are some very wealthy celebrities out there. And we see how it impacts them. We see what happens to their consciousness. Steve even mentioned that too. Like there's something about being famous and being in the limelight like that. You get a lot of energy and projections directed at you. But there's also something about money. Money corrupts, right? It can. Because if you don't have a good heart and you receive a ton of money, what are you going to do with it? Money has been a really big struggle in my family. My father did not grow up with money. They had a house when he was 8 years old. This is something really interesting happened. We won't get into the different spiritual implications of that, but a tornado literally came and sucked up their house, no one else's house in the entire neighborhood. They lost their home when he was a child, and it actually destroyed the roof that he was in his bedroom. And so my dad has a huge fear around tornadoes. But that's another story for another day. He lived in a trailer. He grew up in a trailer. They lived in that trailer and they grew up not having a lot of money. And his sister, we have a lot of trauma in my family, and his sister grew up as a drug addict. She was in and out of jail for her entire life until she passed away about 2 years ago. And my grandfather was always obsessed with the lottery, obsessed with scratch offs and the lottery. And so that's a memory I have of grandpa playing the lottery every single week and scratch offs. And so it was a dream of his to win the lottery. Sure enough, if after he leaves this planet and this body of this incarnation, his daughter, the one who is a drug addict in and out of jail, doesn't win the lottery. My aunt won the lottery, and it contributed to her early death. You take a drug addict and you give them a ton of money. What are they going to do with it? They're going to do a lot of drugs. They're going to make a lot of bad investments. They bought trucks, drinking and driving, wrecked it, destroyed it, ended up in jail again. It was heartbreaking. It really was. It was heartbreaking to witness how it just took her from where she was already in a pit deeper, deeper, deeper. And so again, that's the money now is intentionally going to flow to the people who have a healthy relationship with money, who will, when we receive it, aren't going to spend it frivolously or save it because we're afraid of losing it. But instead, it's going to flow to those that have a healthy relationship with it moving forward. Because again, money in and of itself is not corrupt, it is not evil, but it's the consciousness of the person holding it. So in my aunt's hands, it became a source of her destruction. But in the hands of each one of you, it can be the source of a new world. So we are being trained again to be custodians of new earth wealth and abundance so that we use it lovingly and properly. So again, what good is financial wealth if you don't have love, if you don't have purpose, if you don't have fulfillment, if you don't have friends? So true abundance is not just about money. It's about every aspect of your life, every aspect. And then, so can you shift from the chasing of abundance to the embodiment of it? Can you cultivate the feeling of abundance in your cells right now before you experience it outside of you? Yeah, you absolutely can. Let's do that. Let's feel the difference in our body. So let's just feel, what does it feel like when you think of $0 in your bank account? What does it feel like when you think of like opening up, okay, you open up your bank account and you see negative overdraft. Ooh. Yeah, tense, tight. Now I invite you to call forward the energy of abundance. I am abundant. Abundant is who and what I am. Tapping into the energy of abundance, the energy of overflow, having more than you need so that you can generously give to others. What does that feel like? You can feel the difference. You can feel the expansion in the body. You can feel the nervous system relax. We can cultivate that feeling of abundance in our life in every now moment. It's a choice. It's a choice. Yesterday, I learned that Course in Miracles defines a miracle as a change in perspective. How amazing is that? All you have to do, if what you perceive is what you're going to experience. And if you look around your life and you say, I don't have the loving partner that I'm calling forward. I'm not experiencing the amount of money that I thought I was going to make this year. I wanted to get a new car, but I don't have the funds to get a new car. If you look around your life and all you do is look at what's missing from it, what's not yet here, then you are literally informing the quantum fabric of reality that I don't want that. I don't need that. All the quantum fabric of reality hears is your emotions. It hears, tense, tight, lack, limitation, not enough. I'm not enough. I don't have enough. I'm not experiencing enough. I'm not doing enough. Not enough, not enough, not enough. Lack, limitation. The moment that you look around your world and you choose to focus on gratitude and appreciation for everything that you already have and everything that's on its way and joyful expectancy, the universe rewards you. It's like, oh my gosh, she's abundant. Like attracts like. Let's give her more abundance. And what I want to offer to you guys as well is that abundance doesn't have to come in the form of money. It doesn't have to come in the form of money. How often do we say, oh, I can't afford that right now? I can't afford that. I can't afford that. How often do we look around and we say, okay, our logical linear mind, it says, okay, I want to quit my job, but I need to have this much in the savings account before I can do that. Or you say, I want to go on this trip, on this vacation, and it's going to cost me $10,000. So I need to save $10,000 before I can go on this trip. How often do we look at what it is that we want to experience in life and then we tie a number amount to it? Or like, this is what it's going to cost me. This is what I need to raise. This is what I need to attract. This is what I need first. Money. What if that's not true? What if that was not true? What if instead of seeing the things that you want in life and tying it to a number value, what if you just opened up to infinite possibilities? What if you stopped limiting yourself into how the universe gifts you abundance? Yeah, Kiki says, I'm always telling people it's not about how much it's going to cost. I love that. What if instead you could say, this is exactly what I did. I really was wanting to travel a few years ago. I was so wanting to travel and I had just quit my corporate job. I was making nothing. I was trying to figure out how I was going to serve. And this is like 3 years ago. But I was yearning to travel. So instead of focusing on the money that I needed to travel, I instead just focused on what I wanted and trusted that if it was meant for me, it would happen. And sure enough, if one of my absolute best friends now was like, hey, I'm meant to do a lot of traveling this year. I'm going to be doing some spiritual work, some grid work. I'm going to be working around the United States and spending some time in Hawaii. And I normally go by myself, but it'd be amazing to have somebody there with me that can do ceremony with me. Do you want to go? Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. I got to go all over the place that year, all over to Hawaii, to Mount Shasta, to Sedona. We got to go to all of these beautiful sacred sites, and I didn't have to pay for it. This earth angel gifted me these trips because this person too is in the frequency of complete and total abundance, led and guided by spirit. And spirit literally told this person, take Lacey with you. She's meant to go with you. And so this person didn't say, well, how much is it going to cost me to take her? This person said, okay, spirit, I trust that there's a reason for that. There was another time where I had this program that I was so excited to invest in. And I felt the call. Spirit was like, yes, this is meant for you. But then I sat back and I was like, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I was in that still saying those words, which I'm going to offer you guys a shift for that. And I was like, I can't afford it. I just can't afford it. There's no way. There's no way that could happen. Talking to a friend later, this friend was like, this is your passion. This is your purpose. This is what you're meant to do. Can I help you? Can I loan you the money? I will loan you the money so that you can do this program and you can launch your soul service into the world. I had an angel benefactor that supported me and loaned me the money. And I got to take that program. And it got me to where I am today. So another story, I just feel like the stories just really help us understand what's possible. Another story, one of my mentors, she again launched her program and This woman prayed about it. She was like, this is meant to be, God, make it happen. Show me the way, show me the path. This woman found a bag of money in a parking lot. Like, it doesn't get more like literal than that. I found a bag of money in the parking lot. I mean, the universe is always gifting us. If it's meant to be, it will be. It will be. So let's talk a little bit about the subconscious patterns that block us from money. The mind operates on evidence. And if we want to shift our reality, then we must give our minds proof of a new narrative. Some of the most common limiting beliefs are I'm not worthy of wealth, or money is the root of all evil. I have to make money to have money to make money. Money doesn't grow on trees. I have to struggle for abundance. Being spiritual means rejecting material success. Or I can't be wealthy because my family wasn't wealthy. Or I'm not good with money. All of these beliefs, that is what is holding us back. That is what is keeping us. It's our perspective, it's our view, it's our understanding of money, it's our relationship to money that has been conditioned, but also programmed from our ancestors. I was working, that's a good story. Yeah, thank you. I forgot all about this. I was working with a woman, and we were talking, we were working on her money wounds. We were working on some of her own money wounds, her relationship to wealth. And when we started going deeper into it, it was ancestral. So and we got to clear that. We cleared it completely. So what we found is, in our exploration, her family came to this country on a boat with everything that they had. And in their travels on the way over here, they were robbed. They were robbed and everything was taken from them. And so that wound, that pain, that trauma of coming to a whole new world, not speaking the language, and then having everything that you own taken from you, everything that you had left, all of your money, all of your taken from you, it was deep in her system. It was deep in there. And so we went in there and we cleared it. And in that clearing, in the holding of her family lineage and so much love and compassion, she was able to dissolve the need of that trauma that was programmed into her to keep herself safe. And the reason it was right. So, okay, her family, genetically, it's like, okay, you can't trust others because we trusted others. And when we trusted others, that something bad happened to us, and something really bad that created a lot of stress and a lot of pain for us when we came to this new country. So you can't trust others. So she had these beliefs that you can't trust others. She had beliefs that if you have money, that somebody's going to take it from you. She was a hoarder. She was hoarding tons of stuff in her house because she felt like if she threw it, she felt like she needed it, because she needed to hold on to all of these things because it was her family lineage, this energy that was inside of her being. The moment that we cleared all of that, she was like, I don't need half of this stuff. She Marie Kondoed her home and her life. She was like, does this bring me joy? No. And she got rid of so much stuff. And guess what? If you have a house that is completely full, and you could even consider this yourself, if you have a house, this is your house, that is completely full, how can the universe give you more? You don't have room for it. So it is great magic when we let go of things that we no longer need, when we let go of things. So we cleared that internally within her family lineage. Then she felt inspired to clear her space, her house. She got rid of so much stuff that she was holding on to because she was afraid that she needed it. She was afraid that she wasn't going to have it because it was given to her for free. And she didn't know if she was going to, like she was hoarding on, hoarding and holding on. And the moment that was cleared, the moment that she cleared her house and her home, she was navigating a really challenging experience with a partner and some a financial situation with some legal issues, and it all worked itself out. It all worked itself out. So there was a direct connection between this kind of series of events that then led to, not intentionally, that wasn't our intention or desire, our intention wasn't to go in necessarily to create, to have resolution with this financial situation, but she got resolution with this financial situation because of the ancestral work that we did, the work that she did in the real world, in the physical 3D world. Yeah, Kiki says she has so much to let go of now that she's on a different path. And I'm sure that's both physically outside of self and internally within self as well. We are all doing spiritual cleaning right now. That's what the year of transformation, the year of 2025 is about. This is the year of spiritual cleaning. What within you is no longer aligned with your highest timeline? What within you are you not carrying with you into next year? What within you is ready to be healed, alchemized, and held in love? What within you is still holding you back from fulfilling your mission and purpose? That's what this year is about. That's what we're doing right now in eclipse season too. Shadow work. What within us? And that's what the season, we can literally look at this entire year, and we can look at the eclipse portal that we're in. And actually, you guys, today, the 11th, we are in an Andromeda portal, meaning we are in direct alignment with the Andromeda star. The Andromeda is the neighboring system. And many of us have deep connections to Andromeda. Andromeda holds the blueprint of our original 12th dimensional light body. The original human was created with 12 strands of DNA, connected to God as a divine creator being. And then things happened where we are now. And so the Andromeda, we are in a portal of getting, we could just consider it like a higher self portal, a portal to connect with our own I am presence, a portal to connect with our own limitless consciousness, the part of us that exists outside of time and space. So we've got a lot going on right now energetically across this planet, just right now in this now moment. And you guys, it's not stopping. It's not stopping. This entire year is going to be a year of, okay, what doesn't serve? What doesn't serve? This is a year of shadow work. It's going to be a challenging year for some. And for some, it can be joyous because we don't have to see the challenges as painful. We can see the challenges as opportunities to overcome. We can see the challenges as the source of our own power, the source of our own courage, the source of our own resilience. And so we will be different people, not only on the other side of this program, of this offering, the I am activation, but we will be different people. We will be dying and being reborn again and again and again this year. So we got to get real with the source of our limitation and our lack. And we've talked about it again and again. And I'm going to bring it up one more time. It's multidimensional. It's layered. It's not just this life. It's not just the experiences that you've had in this particular family. It's your family, your ancestors and what they went through. And it's also all the other lifetimes that you weave. So there's a lot there that is impacting and playing a part to color and inform your relationship to money. And many of us, the other thing that I want to bring forward is many of us struggle receiving. How many of you struggle to receive? Is receiving hard? And we can ask, like, do you take compliments well? Does it feel weird to receive a compliment? When somebody gives you a gift, do you feel obligated to like give them something back? Do you feel like you owe them something now? Or when somebody gives you a compliment. You feel that you owe them something. You need to now tell them how beautiful they look or how much you like their top. You feel like this obligatory energy to now reflect it back to them because so many of us struggle receiving. We believe that there's a catch. Nothing comes for free. So we're working also simultaneously, not only over the relationship to money, but our relationship to receiving. How well do we receive? Are we an open vessel to receive, or do we have blocks and limitations to receiving? So money is very nuanced. Our relationship to money is very nuanced. Our relationship to abundance is very nuanced. But it really is rooted oftentimes in unworthiness. It's rooted, and that even that is rooted in limitation and lack. This belief that we are separate from the source of all reality. If you knew in every cell of your body that you are one with God, you are one with the source of all abundance, that abundance was your natural birthright, essence, and frequency. If you knew that, how would you show up in the world? Would you take more risks? Would you take more chances? When an opportunity to invest in yourself shows up, would you just say, nope, I can't afford that right now and move on, even though you feel and know that it's meant for you? Or would you say, I don't know how I'm going to get the money, or this is going to wipe out my bank account, but I trust because also I trust in myself because I know that I'm going to do what it takes. It's trust in yourself. It's trust in the universe. It's trust in money. It's trust in others. And yeah, Jess, absolutely. Jessica says she was robbed and she lost money as soon as it was received. So receiving and holding it are her blocks right now. Because there's part of her that believes if I get it, somebody's going to take it. If I get it, I'm going to lose it. I would rather just not have it than to have it and lose it. So that is your journey, Jess. Your journey is to come back into deep and profound trusting that even and my invitation to you, where I would start with that, is the situation where you were robbed. You got to start there. And what I'm also receiving is that it doesn't start there. It's actually way deeper. This is a pattern, Jess, for your family. Your family was robbed. You've been robbed in other lifetimes. This is a pattern. Yeah, you've been robbed many times. Yeah. This is not new for you. And it will continue to happen until you are able to learn the lesson from it. So it becomes a deep inquiry. Oh, interesting. Also, what I'm receiving. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Also, what I'm receiving is some of the people that have robbed you in this life or other lives, you've also robbed. You have robbed them. And it's a karmic relationship where you guys keep harming each other. You keep stealing from each other because guess what? You're like, well, he stole from me last time, so I'm going to steal from him this time. He stole from me, so I'm just taking back what's rightfully mine, or she, right? So there's something there for you to really sit with and say, okay, we designed this experience, and we can keep playing out this same thing again and again, robbing each other, taking from each other, stealing from each other. Or I can forgive you. I can honor you and the gift that you gave me by helping me see where I am still not fully aligned with the abundance that I desire. All of that happened and is continued to happen because it's saying this is still exists within you. You still have resistance towards abundance, the abundance that you are. Please look at your wounds so that you can come back into wholeness and reclaim, not just for yourself, but for your family as well. Oh, Erin, my darling. Yeah, that's a big one too. She says, I'm stuck believing that I have to earn everything, including love. I invite you to even just reframe the words that you use. Instead of saying, I'm stuck believing or stuck believing, you can say, right now, I notice that I still have a belief that I have to earn love. However, I am choosing to know that I'm innately worthy, not only worthy. And in fact, I really like what I heard recently. What if we just, in fact, let's all say that we're going to bring a little of Gladius Sovereign into our day. You guys, I'm pretty sure I'm an amoeba. I like amoeba the best things that I hear, that I receive, that I experience. And I'm like, yes, let's do that. That's how we become more efficient and effective. It is it's synthesized, just like Gladius did with his method. His method is a synthesis. I still can't say that word. A synthesis of all of the things that he has learned, different tools and methodologies that he studied. So, what if we just cancel, clear, delete all definitions of worth? I cancel, clear, and delete all the definitions that I have around worth, being worthy, and what it means to be worthy or worth something. I cancel, clear, delete all definitions of worthlessness, of unworthiness. Cancel, clear, delete, removing, dissolving. Because to be worth or worthy of something in and of itself is illusion. Your inherent being is everything. There's nothing that you have to do to earn. There's nothing that you have to be worthy of. But what a beautiful journey, my darling Erin. Yeah, coming into, and that stems right from the idea from our parents and our loved ones that told us or modeled conditional love, that modeled conditional love. So I invite you to go back to I Am Infinite Love, which was day 5, Friday. And even before that, I am perfect, whole, and complete, exactly as I am, that there's nothing that you have to hide, fix, or prove. And go back to those codexes and really sit with the truth that you, and even go even further. Day 1, that's why we build upon each other. All of this first is rooted in I am one with God. I am one with the divine. I am one with the source of everything. So how could you be missing anything? There's nothing outside of you that you need. There's nothing to earn because you are already it. There's no money to earn. There's no wealth to earn. There's no abundance to earn. It is just who and what you are at your true core. You've just forgotten. Money is hard to accumulate. Awesome. That is a belief, right? Money is hard to accumulate. Making money is hard. That is a belief. Is it true, Sandra? Is it true? Okay, I forgot it. I just love how it just happens when it's meant to be. Here's the difference between belief and truth. Here's the difference between belief and truth. A belief is a thought you just keep on thinking. And a truth is true for every molecule of the universe, every particle of the universe. If it's not true for every particle of the universe, then it's a belief. And it's a belief, again, a thought that you just keep on thinking. What is her name? Oh gosh, I forgot. There's an amazing spiritual teacher out there, Rika Zimmerman. Rika Zimmerman, I really love her body of work. And you know what her body of work is centered around? Just deleting all beliefs. Deleting all beliefs. Just delete them all. You don't need beliefs. Why do you need beliefs? You don't need beliefs. I kind of prescribe to I'm just going to choose new beliefs that are more empowering. So is money hard for every single person to accumulate? Is money true? Is that true for everybody? Is that true that money is hard for people to? No, it's not true for everybody. It's not. Some people have no problem acquiring money. So that is a belief. And if you don't want to keep believing that, then you get to undergo the alchemical journey of turning that belief into a new belief that feels more empowering for you. Money is easy to come by. I'm telling you right now, guys, money really is pretty easy to come by. Money is. There are people every day that are just, I mean, they're swimming in it. Right now, people that have never had money in the crypto space are all of a sudden experiencing mass amounts of wealth. There's money everywhere, and money is limitless. There is no finite amount of money. I like that. Sylvia says, I have been told not to use the word hard, use difficult or not easy. Yeah, beautiful. Again, we get to, our words are casting spells. Abracadabra, as I speak, so I create. That's literally the definition of abracadabra. As I speak, so I create. Your words are casting spells. So we can reframe, change, and choose anew. Challenging is, I like the word challenging. Because think about it, hard and easy is relative. Even challenging is relative. What's challenging for you is not going to be challenging for another. What's hard for you is not going to be hard for another. Yes, Tiffany. Yes. She says, it's not a truth that the universe is not worthy. And she says, wow, I love this. Yeah. Solara said, we were laughing about it, but like, what would G do? Like, what would God do? What would the universe do? What would the divine do? What would source do? It's like source would never need to earn anything. Source would never feel like it needed to be worthy to receive or to be. It knows its beingness is its worth. How can you turn a belief to a truth within you? That is part of what we're doing during this activation. And also what we're going to be doing in soul alchemy. That is what I call alchemy. Soul alchemy is the alchemy of alchemizing our human experiences, alchemizing the challenges, the pain. It's literally how I see it is we have the lower three chakras are what's called our human matrix, our ego matrix. The next three chakras are our soul matrix. The next three above that, because we have a 12 chakra system, the next three are our oversoul matrix, which you guys, if you remember what Tom Moore said, Tom Moore says that our oversoul comes in. So actually, it's our I am presence, but that's even above that. Our I am presence comes in and then it fractalizes out to 12 parts of us. And then those 12 parts of us then go and incarnate into the planet. And each one of those 12 parts of us is having between 600 and 800 lives on this earth. That's how many life experiences that you are having. And so what alchemy is and what we're here doing is we're taking, we're transmuting, we're transforming all of the separation, the polarity, the illusion of this reality, and we're transforming it into truth. We're exposing the lies within ourselves so that we can remember what's real and true. And most of those lies have been suppressed and repressed, and they're operating in the subconscious. They're just operating subconsciously. And the body remembers every painful thing that every one of your ancestors experienced, and it remembers I call it, we've got our solar and our cellular blueprint. Our cellular blueprint is the genetic blueprint of your family. Your cellular blueprint is your multidimensional blueprint that is connected to all of your lifetimes that you're living. And if you think of the 12 parts of you from your oversoul, each having 600 to 800 lives, that's a lot of lifetimes. I bet each of you thought that you're like, oh, maybe I've got like 12 lives on this planet. Maybe I've got like 15 lives on this planet, maybe 30, maybe 100. No, you've got thousands of lives that you're living right now. And that's just this planet. That's just this planet. I love that we can talk about spirituality and God and source and creator, but also talk about really your more woo woo maybe stuff, the more out there stuff to this group. And that's the stuff that really lights me up. That's why I have the New Earth Ascension Academy, because I like to go really, really deep with the esoteric. Because my soul remembers a time when we were killed and we had to be the wisdom keepers to withhold that information for a select few because the world wasn't ready for that. And it was just massive suppression of that truth. And so it's exciting that we get to come together in an online platform like this and we get to speak out loud. I can say that I am God and nobody's going to kill me. Nobody's going to kill me. You better believe that there's a part of my body that remembers lives where I did lose my life for that. And you too, every one of you. We're finally safe. Absolutely, Kiki. We are. We're finally safe, which is why we're doing this work now. Not only are we safe, but the internet, AI, I mean, we are finally a global civilization. Again. Because we were very global technology. Evolution on this planet's not linear. We know that, right? We know that Atlantis, Lemuria, they were much more advanced spiritually, consciously, and with technology as well. So every creation begins with intentionality. Every creation begins with intentionality, but intention is not enough. It requires substance. We do not manifest what we wish for. We don't manifest what we want. We don't create what we want. We create what we are. We create what we're a vibrational match for. So your vibrational signature, your morphogenetic field, your cellular architecture and structure is what's dictating your life. So if you're experiencing lack, then we know that there's stuff inside of you that is creating that for your greatest learning. So let's talk about the principle of having. There are 8, 9 steps of conscious divine co-creation, which I teach and share. And one of the principles is the principle of having. The principle of having. This principle is a master key to wealth, prosperity, and abundance. And what it is it's the ability to feel and embody the sensation of already having what we desire. It is knowing that our dreams, our desires are not outside of us. They're not something that it's not a matter of if. I say this often. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And if we release attachment to the when and trust in the divine plan unfolding, and then life is always going to be mirroring back to us. It's like, okay, this is what I want. You declare it, you ask for it, you speak it out loud, you put it on your vision board. And then the universe says, amazing. Yes, I want you to have that too. Let's do it. Let's do it together. All right, let's do some cleanup. What within your consciousness is not a vibrational match for that? Where are you still in lack and limitation? Where are you still believing that you have to earn your worth? Is there some hidden stuff that even you didn't experience, so you don't even consciously know about, but your family experienced, like being robbed on a boat over here? Or are there many lifetimes? And so going into and excavating with so much love so that you can become a vibrational match. Because if you remember, it's not the thing that we seek. It's not actually the abundance that you receive is not what's going to make you happy. It's this journey of becoming that we're on. We're here to become. I love the visual that the one infinite creator, source creator, created of itself because it wanted to become something. It wanted to become something. It was like, what would it be like to to become different things and experiences. And so the light is on this journey of becoming. It likes to be manifested in the form, and it likes to be created with. And so we are here. We are here to we are here to shift our own relationship to abundance, to having, to being, creating. So prosperity is a natural expansion of energy that you experience when you're aligned with your purpose. Prosperity flows and it expands. It's not about hoarding. It's not about holding on to, because that's another fear program. And the reality is that wealth without purpose is simply unsustainable, especially moving forward. Here's the thing. How many of us, when we start our spiritual journey, we're like, oh, thoughts become things. I want $1 million. I have $1 million. I have $1 million. And we say it over and over and over again and over again. Well, why do you want $1 million? Do you want $1 million because you think it's going to make you happy? Do you want $1 million because you think it's going to make you feel free? Why do you want $1 million? What do you think that having that $1 million is going to do for you? Well, really, it's the feeling. We want to feel free. We want to feel happy. All of that is available to you right now. You don't need to wait for that $1 million to feel happy and free and fulfilled. And then the other piece is money. If you're like, I want $1 million, I want $1 million. Well, is that from your soul? Does your soul want $1 million? Or does your human ego want $1 million? You got to get clear. Because if the human ego is like, yeah, $1 million is going to make me feel safe, happy, free, then it's never going to happen, because you have no purpose for that money. You have no intention for that $1 million. You think the universe is just going to put $1 million in your lap and let you, again, you're not prepared for that $1 million. What are you going to do with it? Take yourself on a vacation? Yeah, you should do that. But if you're going to spend it and blow it on a multi-million-dollar house, you don't need that. Do you need that? Are you going to spend it on new cars? Well, you got a great car. You got a great house. What are you going to do with that money? So wealth is not going to just be handed to everybody because we think we deserve it. I'm abundance and I am spiritual and I deserve to be abundant. I deserve to have the most opulent. No. Yeah, you do deserve that. That is true. But if that is the intention that you have for the wealth that you are to receive, then spirit is going to say, nope, she's not ready. Nope, he's not ready. They're not ready. They're not ready yet. So wealth without purpose is unsustainable, and money knows that. And it's not going to be flowing to people that don't have a purpose for the money. And I bring all of this up because it's going to be important for our ritual today. It's going to be important for our ritual today. Let's see. We've got some things over in the comments. Serwin says, I had a situation where I left the job without getting a new one. I'm curious why my high vibe meditation and openness were not successful to get money or the next job into my life at that time. Okay, let's unpack that. This is one of the pitfalls of spirituality, that we begin to believe that there's something wrong with us or something that we've done wrong that we need to fix if we're not experiencing the experiences that we want in life. This is what I love about the MBO prayer, the most benevolent outcome. When you pray for a most benevolent outcome, this is the most benevolent outcome for you and all involved. Why do you think that your most benevolent outcome was to get a job right away? What if the exact experience that you experienced was the exact experience you were supposed to have? What if all fear is a lack of trust, and that this entire human experience is an exercise in learning to trust again? What if you were actually experiencing radical courage and bravery by leaving your job without getting a new one, trusting in the universe and trusting in the divine. Or you can reflect back and say, okay, why did I leave that job without a new one? Was there, and again, every situation is so uniquely different. So we would have to speak one on one. But the first piece that I can, without a doubt, tap into is that you are experiencing a belief that because what you preferred didn't happen, that there's something wrong with you. That doesn't feel good in my body. And I can't imagine that feeling good in your body. So instead, what if you chose to believe that exactly what happened was exactly what was meant to happen for you, and it was the highest serving experience? And if you would prefer to have a job, then you get to explore deeper and get curious around, okay, why don't I have one right now? Maybe you're trying to work in the same industry, and maybe that's not what you're meant to work in. Maybe there's an opportunity around the corner that you haven't even thought of yet, but you're too hyper fixated on, I need to work in this industry. Or maybe there's an invitation to do something that you want to do, to open a company or start a company or write a book. Maybe there's an invitation. So sitting with it and asking, like, what is there for me to learn here? Why am I not experiencing what I prefer? Getting really curious. And maybe, and I say maybe, and because I know the answer is yes, maybe the exact perfect situation that you're experiencing is exactly what you need. Exactly what you need right now. Maybe you needed to slow down. Maybe you needed to take some time to focus on yourself. Whatever the reason is, what I know is that it has nothing to do with your high vibe, it has nothing to do with you not being high vibe enough. It has nothing to do with you not meditating enough. It has nothing to do with you not doing enough. And I've mentioned already, like, our abundance is on the other side of doing soul fulfilling work. If you are doing something that is not soul fulfilling, then maybe that's the invitation. What is soul fulfilling? We're not working to live anymore. We're not. We're done with that. We're done with that. We're done giving away our power to being a cog in the wheel of the society that has been designed to work against us. Paola says she wants $1 billion so that she can have more buying power than the multi-billion-dollar corporations that are generating pollution and forever chemicals on the earth. She wants money so she can have buying power and she can have a direct impact on the preservation of these sacred lands and waters. Yes, my love. Yes, my love. Yes, my love. Yes. And what I'm going to ask of you when we get to our ritual is for you to get even more clear on that. Get even more clear on what you would do. And I'll share the ritual with you guys. Yes, Bon, trust without doubt or fear. Lyra, I would welcome that, darling. Yeah, she said she can share something on that when it's time. I would welcome that, deeply and profoundly welcome that. So let's see what else I've got for my notes. Okay. And we can look at, we talked about quantum reality. And in the quantum perspective, all realities exist simultaneously. There's a part of you that is experiencing abundance. There is a version of you that is rolling in the dough or just experiencing wealth and richness in every area of your life. So it's not about creating necessarily something from nothing. It's about attuning to the frequency that's already available. And when you move from this energy of, oh, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, and you start to create evidence in the world around you for how you are always in abundance. One of my favorite, one of my sisters, I really loved that she was bringing this up, and it tickled me because it seemed so silly. But now I'm like, of course. She was like, abundance is everywhere. She's like, I go outside, and she was like, and I'm looking at this building, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of bricks. That's a lot of bricks. That's an abundance of bricks. And then she walks over to, drives past a park. She's like, that's a lot of trees. That's abundance of trees. There's abundance all around us. And so instead of looking around you and saying, looking for the lack, looking for the limitation, looking for what's missing in your life, can you just start to train yourself to see everything as abundance? Guess what? Oh, I like this too. This is a little Bashar for you. Bashar talks about, like, for example, one of the examples he gives is he says, um, I'm not confident. I'm not confident. He was like, well, is that true? In the paradox of reality, you seem pretty confident that you're not confident, right? It's like, okay, you're pretty confident that you're not confident. So technically you are confident because you're confident in not being confident, right? I like that because we can really carry this over to abundance. If you got a lot of debt right now, first of all, can we just change? I worked through that. We want to change the way we perceive debt. Debt is a future investment. Debt, corporations intentionally utilize debt to make more money. Debt in and of itself is not inherently bad. And you're not a bad person because you have debt. But if you've got a lot of debt right now, can you shift your perspective of debt, first of all, and see it as an investment in your future? And you can even see that as abundance. What abundance! How amazing that all of these corporations, companies, banks were able to lend me the money. I have an abundance of debt. Even that can be abundance. We don't have to see the lack as lack because, again, through the lens of Bashar, it's abundance. Yes, we give meaning to everything, fun. We give meaning to everything. So what I invite you to do, instead of saying, I can't afford this, because I talked about that, watch your words. That was a beautiful program I took many years ago called Watch Your Words. And it was all about the words that we say, how we cast spells into reality. And we don't even realize it because they're common phrases. For example, I no longer say, I can't wait. I don't say that anymore because our subconscious doesn't hear it. The subconscious can't hear can't, and all it hears is wait. Well, I don't really want to wait. And even the word can't. So what I say is, I'm looking forward to it. I can't, and from I can't wait to I'm so excited to see you. I so look forward to seeing you. It is Christy Whitman, Jessica. Yeah. I love her. And one that she uses around money is, how often do you see something and you're like, oh, I can't afford that. Oh, I couldn't afford that. Instead, she offers, what if you say, that is not a financial priority right now? That is not a financial priority. And so you're not claiming that I can't afford that. I can't afford that. You're just saying, right now, that's not a financial priority. Emily loves that. I love it. It's great. It's great. Again, how can we be so intentional and deliberate with our relationship to money, the way we speak about money, the way we perceive money, and the way we engage with money or abundance? I can't afford that right now. Oof, you can say it. It doesn't feel, it feels gross in the body. But when you say, it's just not a financial priority, you have the power instead of giving it away. So I really love that one. Gene Keys, which you guys, I love the Gene Keys. Gene Key 53 is all about abundance. And it is the journey from what they call immaturity to expansion to superabundance. And the entire codex in the Gene Keys, read it, it's really good, is about, it talks about how true expansion happens when we trust. True expansion into abundance happens when we trust. The whole Gene Key says that the key to abundance is trust. The key to abundance is trust. When we surrender control and when we align with the divine impulse to create, to give, and to receive, that is abundance. That is the key to our abundance. Real prosperity is inclusive. It is the flourishing of all beings, not just the individual. and expansion requires surrender. To grow beyond our current limitations, we must release the rigid definitions of ourself so that we can allow new possibilities to unfold. And again, I want to bring forward, and what I really loved, the final piece of the Gene Key that I loved, it talks about bhakti energy. It talks about the devotional energy of giving. When we give, it creates this upsurge in the collective field and it magnifies abundance in our life. And again, we don't have to just give monetary things. When we give generously without expectation, it activates our ability to receive. Yeah. How does all that feel? How does all that sound? How does all that land in your body? Is that a much more exciting perspective of abundance? And again, anything in your life that you are calling forward that you're not yet experiencing, gene keys, like your genes, like the gene keys. Richard Rudd. It's awesome. So good. It's an amazing transmission, just a fantastic book. It's a modality. It's a modality that was created. Richard Rudd studied with Ra, the creator of human design, and he then synthesized, the I Ching, different astrology, and he then created and essentially downloaded this modality that is the Gene Keys, and it's a really, really deep and profound modality, profound reading. You can get your free hologenetic profile online for free. And then there's an audio. I highly recommend you listen to the audio. It's beautiful. And yeah, that's just a great way. If you are not familiar with the Gene Keys, it's already written in there. Gene Keys. So fun, just scroll up. The Gene Keys. So yeah, the hologenetic profile. Is that what you're asking about? The hologenetic? No, Gene Keys is the modality. Just go to Gene Keys website. Yeah. I was like, wait a second. He's probably asking about a different word. Your Gene Keys website will have, they call it the hologenetic profile, is what they call your, kind of like in astrology, you have your chart. They call the chart the hologenetic profile. And it's really beautiful. It's an incredible modality. If you're on the search of getting to know thyself, if you're in the search to understand your unique soul blueprint and what you are uniquely designed to do and overcome in this lifetime, it's fantastic. And also what I love about it is it's similar to what we're doing here, is that it's not bypassing and it's not seeing the shadow as wrong. It's got the shadow, the gift, and the city, and the city is like the exalted. Yeah, you're going to love it, Fun. The city is the like exalted, like perfection of the expression of this code. And the gift is like, okay, you've come out of the shadow into the gift and you're now recognizing. And so what I love is that the Gene Keys shows us that our shadows all have a gift within them. We just have to find it. Kind of similar. I love this, right? Oftentimes we see sensitivity, people that are really empathetic, sensitive to emotions, sensitive to energies. We can see that as a inhibitor in life. And we're like, oh, they're just really sensitive. And the world tries to tell us there's something wrong with us. And it can be challenging, but your sensitivity is also a superpower if you know how to use it and manage it properly. That's kind of what I see the Gene Keys as. It shows you that the places and spaces that you struggle the most are actually gifts in disguise. They're your superpowers in disguise. You just haven't yet figured out how to turn it into a superpower. So it's really powerful. Yeah, it's helpful in identifying the shadows so that you can transmute it into the gift, and then the exalted. It's really beautiful, beautifully written. So we're here to honor the abundance that you already are. It's the key to abundance really is threefold. It is recognizing that you already are the source of everything. You have everything that you desire and require within. You lack nothing. Lack in and of itself is an illusory experience within this third dimensional matrix that we created together. So anchoring into that you already have, you already are. There's nothing that you have to do. There's nothing you have to seek outside of yourself. The next piece is clearing out anything that could be preventing you from experiencing the abundance you are, clearing out the programming, the conditioning. And the third piece is following your joy, following your soul blueprint, doing what you love, contributing to making this world a better place in only a way that you can. Your purpose, your passion, your mission is the key to your abundance. So those are kind of the three main points that I want to just bring it all home with, so that you guys, it can be that simple. It really can be that simple. Changing our perspective of who we are first and what we're capable of and why we're here. And then you can change your perspective in relationship to money, which is the second thing, right? The beliefs that we have, the stories that we have, the fear that we have, working through that relationship to ourselves and our relationship to money and the world, moving from limitation, lack, fear to trust, and love. Thank you, Fun Fun. He says, this portal is one of our great abundance. Yeah, this portal is a portal of abundance, because we get to recognize that we already are rich. You already are rich. You already are wealthy. You're so wealthy. You're wealthy in friendships and family. You're wealthy in purpose and passion. You are already wealthy. Yes, you are enough. You matter, and you are deserving of it all. So, are you guys ready to do a practice around this? Let's do a practice around this. Let's clear some of this gunk. We've already been clearing it. Already it's been clearing. As we talk about it, it starts to move. We start to change our perceptions around it. That is what we are. That's why we do these transmissions. The transmissions are perception shift. And then we go from the mind into the body to start programming those new beliefs into the body. And clearing out the part of us that says, nope, that's not true. Nope, that's not true. So that we can. Yes, Jessica says, I'm already noticing a shift. Absolutely. The moment that we get on this call, because the intention has been set for the call, that's what's going to already be working within you. Already. You being here is your choice to reclaim abundance in your life. You saying yes to this call, you saying yes to this event. All right. I'm going to put some music on. Me too, Kiki. Me too. She says, I love that we get to do this together. I do too. And I believe it was always meant to be done together. There's something different. It just hits different. It lands different. It sticks different when you do group work, which is why I create group containers, and that's why the Soul Alchemy was created. Because if you've been doing this work on your own and you're like, it's just so much more fun to do it with others, then come on. The doors are open. The portal doors, the temple doors are open. Let's do it together. Let's do it together. Yeah, people power. Heather says, everything you share is landing so much at exactly the right time. Oh, darling, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear. And what I know is that you're not the only one that feels that way. And you might forget some of this. And then next year we can come back again and we can remember again. Maybe it'll be a little different next year. I like to change it up just a little bit, keep things interesting. All right. Let me put on some background music and let's go deeper with this. Let's go deeper with this. Already there. Cool. All right. If you're in a place and space to do so, I invite you to close down your eyes, bringing your attention, your awareness from the external world to your internal world. I want you to tune into everything that we've been talking about, tuning into the I Am Source Codex. I am super abundance. I am super abundance. How true does that feel? You can say it out loud, just noticing if you have any resistance in your body. Noticing, as we were talking earlier, was there any part of you that doesn't feel safe, that doesn't feel like you can trust others with money? Is there any part of you that doesn't feel like you can trust yourself with money? Just noticing the resistance inside of your body. And maybe you ask that part of you, ask them who they are or where this resistance comes from. Where does this resistance come from? Is it ancestral? Is it from your childhood? Just asking this part of you, does it have anything to say about this? Do you have anything to share with me? Just listening, feeling. Is part of you scared? Does part of you believe that you don't deserve money? That you're not worthy of abundance? Just listening and welcoming this part of you in so much love. Saying, beloved, I hear you, I see you, I understand you. I invite you now to go ahead and start tapping on the side of your hand or anywhere else on the body that feels good for you. And you can say out loud, even though part of me believes in limitation and lack, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though part of me believes that I am not worthy of abundance or I don't deserve abundance, I love and accept this part of me. Even though part of me is resistant to or rejecting money, wealth, abundance, I choose to love and embrace all parts of me now. I invite you to now tap on the other parts of your body, tapping on the head, the face, just wherever it feels good, breathing, perhaps swirling your body in some circles, maybe making sounds to help move some of this energy, because we're going to bring up this energy. We're in a safe space. God, Source Creator, is with you now, holding space for you. We're going to bring up these limitations, and I want you to notice what in your body is responding to what I have to say. Just noticing if any of these feel or sound true to you. And tapping as you do it, breathing, moving, because you're reprogramming your nervous system and telling your nervous system that it is safe as you bring up these thoughts, these emotions. So tapping into any unworthiness around money, any unworthiness that you feel. You're not worthy of money. You're not worthy of abundance. You don't deserve it. You've done bad things. Tapping into any lack of trust. I don't trust myself with money. I don't have the discipline to be abundant or wealthy. I don't have the motivation to be wealthy. Tapping into betrayal. I've been betrayed before. Other people have hurt me. They've harmed me. They've taken my money. It's not safe for me to be wealthy. Maybe it was a family member that betrayed you. Maybe it was a loved one. Maybe it was a stranger. Offering all of them forgiveness now. I forgive you. I forgive you. I let you go. Is there any part of you that believes that money is the root of all evil? Is there any part of you that believes that money is inherently evil? And we are asking for all of this to be cleared, removed, deleted from our consciousness now. Is there any part of you that believes that rich people are greedy and they're corrupt? Is there any part of you that believes that you cannot be spiritual and wealthy? Is there any part of you that believes that you have to work hard to succeed? That you have to have money to make money? Is there any part of you that believes that if you are wealthy, you're never going to get to enjoy the money that you have because you'll be so busy working to make more money? Is there any part of you that doesn't trust you with money? This was a big one for me. I can't handle a lot of money. I don't trust myself with money. I'm just going to spend it on frivolous things. I'm going to lose it. I'm not good with money. I mismanage my money. Is there any part of you that believes that? Cancel, clear, delete, letting it go. It's not true. None of this is true. None of this is true. Is there any part of you that believes that if you succeed and you become successful, that you'll lose friends? That people will hate you, people will judge you? Tapping, moving, breathing. It is safe. You are safe. Is there any part of you that believes that if you succeed, that you're going to lose yourself? You're going to lose yourself, that money's going to change you. Is there any part of you that believes that money changes people and that if you become wealthy, that it's going to change you? What about the part of you that might believe that life is a constant struggle? Life is a struggle. Life is hard. Life is challenging. Life is about survival. I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to survive. Just trying to stay alive. Tapping, breathing, feeling, welcoming all these parts of you. We're not rejecting any of these beliefs. We're not rejecting these parts of you that believe this. We're welcoming them with love. Thank you. Thank you for showing me what you believe. Thank you for showing me that you don't feel enough. Thank you. Oh, my love. I'm so sorry that you feel that way. I'm so sorry that you don't feel that you're worthy of success and abundance. I'm so sorry that you don't feel that you deserve it. I'm so sorry that you are afraid that you're going to lose it. I'm so sorry that you don't trust yourself. But I love you. I love you so much. And I understand. I understand that you were just trying to protect me. I understand that you were just trying to keep me safe. I'm understanding now. I get it. You were trying to keep me small because you wanted to keep me safe, free from the pain. But guess what? I've got this. I've got this. I know who I am. And I know that I'm one with the source of all reality. And I know there's nothing to worry about. Death is an illusion. I am a limitless being. I've got this. So you can let all of that go. You can let all of that limitation go. You can let all of that not enoughness go. You can let all of that fear go. You can let all of that self-doubt go. You can let all of that shame and guilt go. Tapping into that a little bit. Is there any part of you that feels shameful or guilty for having money or making money? Is there any part of you that feels guilty for being successful? It's afraid that if you are wildly successful, that you're not going to be able to handle it and you're going to lose friends. Is there any part of you that feels guilty when you spend money on yourself to treat yourself? Letting all of that go, cancel, clear, delete, release. You are safe. You are so safe. We're going to choose new beliefs. We're going to choose truths. We're done with beliefs. We're done with limitation. We're going to tap into what's real. We're going to tap into our source of everything. Continuing to tap, continuing to breathe. I'm going to invite you to say these phrases out loud. I am overflowing with infinite abundance. I am worthy of receiving limitless prosperity. I am always attracting wealth and success effortlessly. Abundance flows to me with ease and grace. I am abundance. Abundance is who and what I am. I honor money as a sacred resource. I honor money as divine. I honor money as my lover. I am inherently worthy. I am here to generously receive and generously give. Money flows to me effortlessly. I always have more than enough. I am responsible with money. I am good with my money. I honor the money that I have and receive. I love money and money loves me. Wanting more money is a sacred desire. Abundance is a sacred desire. you're tapping with your eyes closed, just noticing any sensations inside your body. Noticing if you felt a shift, if you feel more expansive, more tapped into the abundance that you are. We're going to say out loud one more time, I am super abundance. I am infinite abundance. I am limitless abundance. I am rich. I am wealthy. Just noticing how much more true that feels to you now than when we first started this call. Before you open your eyes, I want to do one more little short experience. Each of you, I want you to tune into your heart. I want you to tune into the sacred vision that you have for your life. Tuning into your sacred desires, the desires that God wants to live and experience through you, as you. The dreams that you have for this life. And just feel the feelings of already having all that you desire and require. Knowing that you have everything you need inside of you to birth that reality. Like a seed, when you plant the seed, it has everything it needs to grow into a tree, to grow into a plant, whatever it is, it has the blueprint inside of it. All it needs, though, is the right water, the right sun, a gardener who knows how to give love and weed the garden with love. And you are that gardener. You are gardening your own sacred desires. You are nourishing your own sacred desires. You are weeding your own garden so that that seed can grow, can flourish, and fruit. You did not come here at this time by accident. You did not wake up just so that you could keep your wisdom locked inside. Your life has meaning. It has purpose. Everything that you've experienced to this point was divinely orchestrated by you. This is your hero and Shiro's journey, your journey of becoming. And you felt it. You're feeling it now, the pull, the restlessness, the knowing that you are meant for something greater. Maybe you've been waiting for the right time, the right moment, the right sign. But what if that moment is now? What if the waiting was just your initiation, preparing you for this very time, for this very moment? The world is shifting, beloveds. The old is crumbling. The new is waiting to be built. And you, the way showers, the star seeds, the ones who have awakened and remember why we are here, you are being called to step forward. You are being called to rise, to serve, to hold the light steady for the collective, because the next couple of years are going to be challenging. This is your work. It's not just personal work, it's planetary work. Your gifts, your voice, your presence is needed. There are people out there praying for you to show up, to share yourself, to share your story, to write the book, to take the healing certification program. You can feel this truth reverberating in your soul. If you can feel this, then you already know that this is your time. The waiting is over. The time is now to take action. And you were never meant to do it on your own. You were never meant to do it by yourself. You were always meant to do it with others, in community, in connection. When we feel together, we heal together. You are each meant to be custodians of new earth abundance. And your soul purpose, your soul mission, the things that light you up and bring you joy, that is your path. And if you know that this is your time and you are done waiting on the sidelines and you're ready to show up fully, if you're ready to be seen, if you're ready to be heard, if you're ready to take courageous action towards living the life of your dreams, the life that you're yearning for, I invite you to feel into your heart, to feel into your soul, and ask yourself, what's next? What is the next step for me? And listen. What do you hear? What do you feel? Something pop into your mind to call someone? Or maybe it's something that you've been thinking about creating and Spirit's saying, create it, do it. Maybe it's somewhere that you were thinking about investing in yourself. Maybe it's something that you need to learn, a new skill or talent. And if any of you here are still wondering if soul alchemy might be it, then ask yourself now, is soul alchemy my most benevolent outcome? And just feel in your body. Does that feel expansive? Does it feel sparkly and tingly and exciting? If so, that is your yes. That is your soul's yes. Saying trust, take risks, take chances. This is meant for you. This is the next step on your path. And if you feel a little excitement, a little expansion, but also a little uncertainty, you're still not sure, and you've got questions, trust that too. And if you feel the no, amazing, trust that. What is next for you? What is the next step for you is going to be uniquely your own. I invite all of you to just take a big, deep breath in. And let's just seal it with, I trust. I trust. I trust. I choose to trust. I choose trust and love. I trust. I trust in myself. I trust in the universe. I trust in the divine. I trust in my dreams. I trust. I trust. I trust. Whenever you're ready, thanking, God, Creator, the divine, for planting these dreams, these visions in your heart. Thanking God, Creator, the divine, for being your co-creative partner. You've got a huge spirit team supporting you every step of the way. And if you don't yet have a physical 3D team, then I invite you to find other lights that can support you, that can hold your vision, your prayers for your life with you, and remind you, because it's gonna get tough. It's gonna get hard along the way. It's gonna be more challenging. And you're gonna forget how fucking amazing you are. So make sure that you have people around you that remind you. Make sure that you have a physical team of supportive people. If it's not your family, that's okay. They probably won't get it. That's okay. If they do, oh, what a gift. Thank you, God. Thank you, divine. You want to hear one of my favorite mantras? Thank you, God. Thank you, divine. Thank you for this beautiful, radiant, miraculous life of mine. Thank you, God. Thank you, divine. Thank you for this life of mine. Thank you, God. Thank you, divine. Thank you for this mission of mine. Thank you, God. Thank you, divine. Thank you for this family of mine. Thank you for these friends. Thank you for this gorgeous day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The more that we can step into gratitude and appreciation for what we already have, the more that abundance flows to us. Gratitude. It's a magical tool, not even a tool, a magical way to live reality. Yeah, Emily. Emily, you look so held by yourself, my love. So beautiful. Darlings, if you feel that soul alchemy is a maybe, a possible, I'm not sure, curious, and you haven't yet, you're not all yet in, my calendar is open. Get in my calendar. Free session, 30 to 45 minutes. We're going to meet, we're going to connect, we're going to talk. We're going to get clarity on your next steps, whether it be with me or something else. I am not attached. My prayers are to be of service to you in whatever way I possibly can. And nothing brings me more joy, happiness, bliss, and fulfillment. This is my purpose. I would do this if I made no money doing it. That's how you know. That's how you know. If I made nothing, I would do this. So allow me to serve you. Allow me to support you. Allow me to hold space for you in whatever I can. We love you, Emily. Bye, darling. See you this afternoon. See you tomorrow. I would love to meet with you. I would love to have space to have some one-on-one time with you guys as well. So get in my calendar. Clarity call. There's the program, Soul Alchemy. If you want the more 3D details, the webpage is all the 3D details. I'm sharing with you my soul felt details, the greater reason why this has been created. And what else? This afternoon, we've got 2 incredible, beautiful, divine souls. Oh yeah, and let me share my screen so you can also get your today's embodiment ritual. So I invite you to write a love letter to money, but that's not the embodiment ritual. This year, we've changed it. I do, just really quickly, replays are available March 21st. That's a week from Friday. If you are somebody that is watching these replays, because there's so many of you guys out there, and you're not yet caught up and you want more time, Get the replays now, only $33. $33. The price will go up on Thursday when the event is over. So there is a participation contest going for those that complete the embodiment rituals and share in the Facebook or message me directly if you don't have Facebook. And I will announce the winner on Thursday. And I do have a couple of partial scholarships left for anybody who can't access the program otherwise, that knows that this is a full heaven yes for them. And at the very minimum, I'm willing to work with you guys. If there is a different payment structure that you need, and you're like, hey, I want to do this, but 166 every 2 weeks is not possible. Well, the price is now $199. $199 every 2 weeks. You're like, $199 every 2 weeks. That's not possible for me. Then talk to me and maybe we can spread it out over more months, more time. I'm open to doing that. I'm so open to working with you guys in whatever way that I can. So let me know. Do not sit on the sidelines and not reach out and wonder. Reach out. And I do have different pricing available for anyone earning their living in what is considered a developing countries. And for my Canadian brothers and sisters that are a heaven yes, reach out. I have additional offers for you guys because the Canadian dollar is struggling. And we do have a lot of Canadian brothers and sisters. Jonathan Carroll is in Canada. And so a lot of his people are in the Canada area. And I don't want you guys to feel like you can't say yes to this because the dollar is in such a bad place right now. So let's see what we can do to work it out. Participation contest. Okay, today's daily embodiment ritual. This is the longest ritual, probably, but it's so worth it. The first thing is, well, I say the longest. That's if you do the extra credit. And I like extra credit. I'm an extra credit gal. I was like top A, A's in all of my classes in college. I was the straight A student too. So I'm like, extra credit, give it to me. I love it. I love school. So today's ritual challenge is a sacred wealth prayer and an intention. So the first thing is I'm going to send it on the group, but I wrote this super abundance divine decree. And I actually recommend everybody speak this divine decree out loud. I'll post it. It'll go in the email and it'll go in the Facebook group. But this super abundance divine decree, we know the power of speaking words out loud is really powerful. After you're done with that, then I want you to ask yourself, as a conscious custodian of new earth wealth, what would I do with my super abundance? How would I use my overflow to positively contribute and impact the world to make the world a more loving place? Get clear. If you were going to be given $1 million, what would you do with that $1 million? What organizations would you donate it to? How would you invest to make more wealth? That's okay. Investments is good too. Would you invest in yourself? Would you invest in investment property, commercial real estate? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Would you invest in a company? Would you start your own business? How would you use that money? And get clear, because the universe loves clarity. Money loves clarity. Money loves clarity. Money loves clarity. It loves intention. It loves direction. It's like, what are you going to do with me? Tell me how you're going to recirculate me into the world to make the world a better place. It loves you. It wants to create a more harmonious world, just the same as you do. So getting really clear on what you would do with that money. And then the extra credit is to perform 3 acts of generosity. As we give, so we receive. 3 acts of generosity. And this can be kind words to a friend, texting a friend. This could be calling your grandmother, which is hilarious because literally Spirit said, that's you talking to you. I owe my grandmother a call. So I'm going to be calling my grandma. I do owe her a call. Thank you. So it could be calling your grandmother. It could be picking flowers for a loved one. It could be as simple as you may be in Starbucks and you might buy a coffee for the person behind you. Has anybody ever done that? Have you ever had a coffee bought for you and they're like, oh, that person just bought that? I have. It feels like, oh, me. Thank you. Like, it's such a sweet thing. So if you've ever done that for another, if you're in the drive-through line, tell them I'll pay for the next person's order. Or it doesn't have to be money related. You can donate. You could go through your home and say, what is no longer serving me? Does this bring me joy? When was the last time I picked this up and used this? Am I holding on to and hoarding? Because the moment that you make space in your world, the universe is like, oh, she's got space to receive now. So maybe you go through your home this weekend or this week and you find things that you don't need anymore. And you put it in a pile and you go donate it to Goodwill. That would feel really good. So, what can you do? Think of 3 acts of generosity. And again, it doesn't have to be money related. And that I put as extra credit, but it's just as important as the divine decree. It's just as important with you getting clear on what you would do with New Earth Abundance. What's funny is I used to do this where it was like a reflection ritual where you would sit and you would start to get really clear on your money story. What's my money story here? But most of us have done that. We've done that. We know what our money story is. The universe is like, okay, now like let's get more intentional. Let's get more intentional. And so this afternoon, we've got Erica Van Eaton. She's incredible. I've been following her work for years. And then when I reached out to her to invite her to be a part of the I Am Activation, I found out she lives in Houston. She lives in the Woodlands. She's like right around the corner from me. So I'm excited to get to connect with her. But Erica is a channel. She's a spirit guide and she's a healer. She teaches others how to reweave their foundational structure to curate new realities and expand their gifts. She also has an oldest son who was born with Down syndrome and autism. So she does a lot of work in those spaces. So if you guys have these little star-seeded children that are gifted with Down syndrome or autism, then she is a great mama to get to know. In fact, she's the only other parent. Oh, no, Steve. I forgot about Steve. Other than Steve, most of the people that are speakers are not parents, which I find fascinating. But she is a mama. And so her son guided her through her own structuring of her energy matrices to become a new kind of human. And so she recognizes the gift that choosing a son and a son choosing that particular experience offered her. And so through reimagining the roles of the human vessel, she learns how to create an internal unified field or unified way of playing within the quantum field. So she's great. Everything that she's saying here is what we've been doing throughout our time together. And then we've got Christabel Zamore today. I'm so excited about this. Christabel is the creator of Breath of Bliss. Breath of Bliss is euphoric breathing practice to access states of oneness. She has certifications, facilitators worldwide. She's guided at festivals and conferences. She was the creator of a global festival called Breath Fest and Bliss Fest. And she's appeared on Dr. Oz, Live with Regis and Kelly. So she is in Time Magazine. She is very well known for what she's created and offered. And she was also featured as a Mind Valley author. So she has got degrees in psychology and cultural anthropology. So she blends science and spirituality in all of what she offers. She's wonderful. She's going to be guiding us through a breath of bliss journey. So if you're excited to get to do some breathing exercises this afternoon, we will have probably 30 plus minutes of breathing within this experience. So come play with us this afternoon. It's great on the replays, but live is extra fun. All right. Let me click on the chat, see where we're at over here. Awesome. Yeah, 11:11, Christoph. It was 1:11 here. I just barely missed it. All right. So we're going to, Erica's amazing. I love that, Sarah. You know Erica Van Eaton. That's amazing. She is fantastic. I had another Erica last year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you familiar? How long have you known Erica and her work for a while?
Yes, probably. I've been following her about 2 years, and I do see her privately as well, and she's done amazing things for me, and I find it amazing. You're also amazing, but I find it incredible how at a distance you can feel things being moved about and shifted, and yeah. Anyway, thank you for your work.
Oh, of course, my pleasure. And my work so much is bringing other people's work to others, which I really love and get to appreciate because my work, my who I be and what I embody and is a direct result of all the people that have taught me, all of my teachers, all of the different modalities I've learned. So there's a little bit of Tom Moore in me. There's a little bit of Steve in me. There's a little bit of Solara in me. There's a little bit of Gladius in me. Like I get to like because they're amazing. They're all so wonderful at what they do, and so we get to like learn, and then we assimilate and we gravitate, and it's like oh, so it's such an honor to get to bring Erica's work, to get to bring any of their work to you guys. So thank you so much for sharing how Erica has impacted you, which is such a perfect, beautiful segue in the invitation. So you guys come and experience Erica. Erica will be our first speaker. And then from there, we'll gravitate to Christabel Zamore and Breath of Bliss. So oh, fun, fun. Fun, fun says there's also a little bit of Lacey in you. There's a lot of Lacey in me. And maybe fun, fun, you'll notice that in the 2 years that we've been journeying together, that there's a little Lacey in you too now. Maybe you'll hear my voice sometimes in your head saying how amazing and powerful you are, just reminding you of your own soul light. That's the beauty. Or maybe you've dreamt of me, or I dream of you guys. It's really beautiful when we get to do that, when we get to work in the multidimensional, more astral realms as well. There was also Lyra, you had something to say about abundance earlier, and we were waiting to the end of the call. Do you want to share? Are you still with us over there, darling? You are. Okay. Oh, she unmuted. Oh, she unmuted and then we lost her. She accidentally hung up, I guess. Oh, okay. Well, maybe she'll return before we leave. Is there anybody else that wants to share anything? I know we've only got a few of us left on 20 something left on the call. Oh, she's back.
Well, I was trying to say yes and I hung up.
I was like, I think she just hung up on herself, on us. No worries. You're back. You're back.
I don't know how that happened.
Let me spotlight you. Awesome. I want to see you. Okay. Please share with us what came up.
First, now I'm nervous, but I will share because I was led to say that. So now I got to do it. When you were talking about, someone was asking about like leaving that career or leaving that vocation and opening yourself up to something that's totally different, and how you can go through a lot of sensations with that fear, all of those things. And I experienced that directly. Sorry, I'm still getting my voice back from being sick or purging. So I worked in the corporate world for like 9 years, which, my mother would say, how did you, this like star child, I'm named after the star constellation Lyra. I named myself, but that's a different story for a different time. How did you end up working in the corporate world? I don't know. That's where God took me. So I worked like in Manhattan in like one of the largest firms in the world, like in the belly of the beast for 9 years. And then it got to the point where I was starting to feel blocked and like I needed to leave. But it supported our family. Like I made really good money, but I knew it wasn't serving us anymore. And so I had to really, through doing this kind of work, like what you're talking about and doing this practice, I had to just finally surrender it and be like, well, I don't know how I'm just going to surrender it to you, God, to like tell me when is the right time. And I went out on maternity leave with my fourth and they did massive layoffs and I got laid off. And I was like, okay, cool. You made this choice for me. And because I was open to it and had done this work and continue to do this, I still felt some like, oh my God, like, wow, this is ending now. Like God just took it out of my hands. But I received it as a gift. And when they were doing the exit interviews, the partner that was doing it, he was like, I've never talked to anybody who's like happy about getting laid off. Like, he's like, I don't know what to do with this. Like he came in all sad. And I was like, well, let me help lighten your burden for a moment, because I know this is so hard for you to have to lay off all these people. And I was like, you know what? I'm glad you did, because I got to take that position layoff from someone who's family really couldn't have weathered that storm. And
Mm.
because I was open to it, and my husband and I had been developing our own business in the background and receiving that guidance, like I was okay with it. And I didn't know how we were going to replace my income. Like it was like goodbye to all of that secure corporate.
Mm.
But what's come is even more abundance from that because I was open. We've been fine. I never missed a beat. I never have missed a beat supporting 4 children. Like we're fine. And so to whomever, I just felt like when you were talking about that, that when to share that as an example for other people, maybe a source of hope for other people as well, that when you do that work and you're open, it can come in very unexpected ways. So now my husband and I are managing our own business, and we've replaced my income, and we're okay, we're okay.
Wow.
And the abundance looks very different than it used to, but it's also coming from a higher source. Like it doesn't have all of that
Yes.
muddiness that
Yeah.
old world paradigm, the corporate Manhattan belly of the beast. Like if you're called to be there, or there, I had to hold a candle for those people for a long time.
And do you
But
also believe that all of that experience and being in the belly of the beast, as you're calling it, do you believe that that was deeply and profoundly serving to who you be now today, opening your eyes to that space? Yeah. So
oh
even that,
yeah,
not was it just serving a purpose of abundance in that particular space, but it was a training ground.
oh yeah, it totally was because it developed different aspects of my consciousness that I didn't like. I was
Right.
so kind of, just in the stars and creative right brain, and so I had to like hone myself and become the analytical left brain part. So it developed parts of myself that now are essential for the business that we're doing. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
we wouldn't be able to, I have the skill set that my husband doesn't have from learning all of those. So I can see, even though at the time I'm like, God, why am I here? And sometimes it would feel overwhelming to be in such a hard, like I worked with like kind of like your experience, Lacey, with, like all male dominated and some of the practices and just very hard, very like closed down heart. And I was like, why am I here? Like, what am I supposed to be? But now I can see because I just kind of trusted through it and why, and on a really cool note to show how you can bring light into those places. Actually, at the very end of my time there, I led a meditation practice for
Amazing.
our weekly call with a
Oh, wow.
technology group that I
Of
totally
all
created.
people.
Yeah. Yeah. They were like, totally had never had any exposure to anything like that. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to plant these seeds of light in you. And so, you never know where you're going to bring light and you never know where that's going to lead you. And so, yeah. And so that's been really cool I just wanted to share that. And when you were talking about all the abundance, I haven't really felt it in a material way. Like I
Mhm.
haven't had a lot of fear around money, but I've had a lot of fear around accepting the abundance of like love and worthiness. And when you were saying that, it brought that during the meditation, it brought that up. Being my father, who has always had poverty consciousness, and I didn't even make that connection. I was like, oh, and when you're talking about the ancestral, like that's so powerful. Like that's so important to clear the ancestral stuff. And I never really realized that that's where that lack shows up for me is through the father. And I also, Lacey, had a father who wasn't there and didn't show love and all of that. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's where it's still hooking me. So thank you for that gift too, and seeing that I gotta do some ancestral father clearing.
Amazing. Oh, I'm so glad that that clarity revealed itself for you. And what I love so much about your story, there's so many beautiful nuggets of wisdom that I think people can gain. But one of the pieces too is the trust, the surrender that you had to have to what is unfolding, the prayer that you had in your heart to be shown what was in the highest alignment for you, and then even beyond that, what you shared around abundance. You maybe you never started to make as much or more than you were making there, and maybe you have. Either way, it doesn't matter. But what your experience of abundance in the other areas of your life is what I think is really beautiful. An
Yeah.
abundant of everything. And so we, again, we want to look at abundance less out of the monetary and more and out of the things and the houses and the stuff that we own, and more from just the overall experience of abundance of connection, an abundance of love, an abundance of happiness, an abundance of self-expression. How often do we think of like, oh my gosh, like I, before my journey was hardly expressing myself. I didn't even know who I was. And now I get to express myself in its full, in its entirety. So yeah, just this reframing of abundance and your trust, you've always been taken care of. You've always had what you've needed in every moment, even though you dealt with a temporary decrease in your cash flow. It very similar to my story. If you recall, I prayed. They call me in and they're like, we got to let you go. And I'm like, no. But then I realized, no, this is what I've been praying for. This is the answer to my prayer. So yeah.
Very similar. Yeah, I realize when you say, I mean, to think of the word currency, it's a current of currency. And I've realized that, but it's a divine flow, and currency is just one way that it is received by us. But we're opening up that definition, like this person here, he is abundance, and he, like, all the children and chickens and having our own eggs and having land and having friendships, and that's all currency. And when you tune into that currency, all of it comes, everything you need comes to you in all the different forms. And that's the new consciousness. We're shifting out of that. There is no real scarcity and lack in this creation at all. It's just our ability to open to the current and let it, like, I see it like this golden light stream coming in, like, just let it come in.
And what I love too is that we can reframe what we view and see abundance as. We can now, like, what to us, what is abundance? And you mentioning the children, right? Oh my gosh, an abundance of joy and play and innocence that you didn't have in your life before. There's something really beautiful. Like, we think that we now need to replace the thing 50-50 to what it is. And it's like, and what if in that choice that we made, the abundance and the rest of our areas overflows so much so. And then eventually, the monetary abundance does show up. So I think there's something to be said about recognizing again that the abundance again is not the money, it's everything in life. What is the currency, the flow, the receiving and giving? Because that's what the universe wants to do. It just wants to give generously to us and pour into us and love on us in every area of our life. And then we take that overflow and we pour into others, and then they pour into others, and then they pour into others. And that is true harmony of this planetary structure. This is how we're meant to live as human beings. It's not a competition. We're all on the same team. Let's just all be on the same team here. I love that. Her littles are running around like crazy. She's like, an abundance of energy, an abundance of chaos, an abundance of perceived chaos. Thank you, Lyra. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. I do feel that people might be in a place or position where they're looking at their life and feeling like it's not abundant. But the realization of what abundance actually is, maybe you can look at your life differently now after this call and realize that you actually are infinitely abundant already. Oh, Jessica, I love you so much, darling. It's so good to see you. Bye, sweetness. Danielle, you don't need to raise your hand. That's okay. What I'll do is remove spotlight. I'll just spotlight you. You can just unmute. Can you figure out how to unmute? Are you still here? Oh, there you are. I missed you.
There we go.
There you are. Yeah. We'll just go ahead.
Not good with the whole lie. Well, I am, but
you're learning technology.
My own voice talking, it bothers me. Actually listening to what you and Lyra said, I mean, that's true. Like, my sister had abundance with like money, but I always, and I raised my kids this way, is, like what Lyra said, right? Like, abundance to me was family and that love and that connection. And, pay it forward. Always told my kids that. I mean, there was times when, maybe we didn't have a lot, but it was pick a charity, something, right? Like, pay forward, right? My not sure if you've seen, some of the people have. I lost my 21-year-old son last year, well, 11 months ago, and he was the oh my gosh, he belonged to so many charities from the time he was little. I guess based on, I got emotional during some of your things today talking about it. Um, I've always felt very, like I said, very abundant family, my own family. So literally me and my kids. I mean, I've let go. I've done some courses that have been, and yeah, absolutely, you know, like you with your dad. I remember I held resentment and anger and stuff, and at times, or not understanding um with my mom, or the way we were raised or whatever and stuff. But then, and I didn't realize it until after she passed, and I did this course and I wrote a letter, and it felt so, oh, just to let that go, because I realized, as I always said to my kids, there's no hand manual on being a parent. Like we just, I'm doing my best with what I can, with what I have right here, right now, in this moment. And I it dawned on me, and it was like, oh my gosh, that's what my mom did. And my mom, was only mimicking, like you said about the ancestral, or is mimicking that she wasn't, loved, like you said about your dad and stuff the other day. And so they didn't know, they didn't learn the tools on how to be able to forward that. My The part where I got emotional is my boy, and I'm good at saving, and I'm very thrifty and everything else. So yes, I as far as financially, abundance would be wonderful. Of course. My boy that passed, he was very successful, started his own business at 15. He, did well. My part, and this is my question to you, and this is personal, sorry people if I get emotional. um
No need to apologize. Your emotions are so welcome here.
I was his beneficiary, as he was supposed to be my person.
Oh.
So what was in his bank, I shared with his siblings, because, you know, he would have wanted them to earn it. But I still shared that and stuff. But he was going to take care of mom. And even though he's here, but in his realm, he has done that, and I'm struggling with that.
Oh.
I don't know if it hasn't been all finalized yet, like to actually say have access, but I don't know. It's like anytime I have to deal with that, and I don't know how to break that. Like anytime I have to go to a lawyer or the bank or something, I mean, part of me, it's grief, I know, because I would rather him over the money any day. But at the same time too, it's like it's hard to accept it. When you were saying earlier, can you accept it and stuff, and I'm finding it hard to accept it. And it's um he was on his motorcycle and somebody hit him, so like, there's it I mean, it was the fault of the person who hit him, but I shouldn't feel guilt. It's almost like I feel guilty.
Yes.
To touch that money, or to, anything. It's like, no, I'm good, I'm okay. Like I'm my bills are paid, I have a roof over my head, I have food in my belly, I'm good. And so that's the part I'm trying to. I don't know if you have, like, I don't know, would cutting a cord, I don't know, energy clear, like I don't know how to get past that.
Oh, my
I
heart.
mean, today I did release
Yeah.
a bunch today. I got emotional, but I did release a bunch today with what you were talking about, which was wonderful.
Yeah.
So I thank you for that.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. First of all, my heart goes out to you. It is never a parent's dream, thought, prayer In fact, it's oftentimes a nightmare to think that we could outlive our kids.
He was my best friend and my person. He was
Oh.
my strength, but he was definitely my, I love all three of my kids, don't get me wrong. And I'm sure Lyra can say this, or she might when they get older, because you find their personalities, right? But my daughter, she's like, I want nothing to do with nothing, blah, blah, blah. So, and my youngest one, well, he's 17, so he's too young. So it was my middle boy. Like, he's like, nope, mom, I got you. He was
Yeah.
he could, in situations, he could put aside and deal with what has to be dealt with. And then, he might fall apart after and stuff. And that's kind of the way I've been too. Like, I lost my mom and then my dad, and 6 months after, to the day, my son, and all my family members have, I've turned the number to a good number, but all of them have passed on the same date.
Oh, wow.
Not the same month, but the same
Yeah.
date.
Well, can you trust in every cell of your body that he came and did exactly what he was supposed to do? Like a blaze of fire in his 21 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Lacey, he used to, I remember, see, him and I both almost, he was a emergency C-section, and we both almost lost our life. And
Mm.
we made it. And he used to say to me growing up, I almost didn't make it into this world. I don't think I'm going to be here long. And I used to say, oh my gosh, don't say that. You're going to, blah, blah, blah. No parent wants to hear that, right? Like, don't throw out negative to the universe. You got to say positive
He
stuff,
knew, he knew.
And that sunk in me. But oh my gosh, when you say in a blaze of, oh my God, he lived life to the fullest. Oh yeah.
And so simultaneously, can you trust that even in his passing, even in the gift of his passing, that he chose to go out literally in a blaze, if you will,
Yep.
because he knew that this was going to be supportive for you. He knew that this was his final 3D gift to you, that he planned it, you both planned it, you both orchestrated it exactly as it's happening, because he wanted you to know that you were taken care of. He didn't want you to have to worry about money. He wanted you to know, okay, my needs are met. What else is next for me? What else can I do? What else can I see? What else can I experience? What else is possible for my life and our reality? Can you just deeply, deeply trust in that as a perfect gift, like his last gift to you before he decided to then become your spirit guide to now work from that side of the bell? And what I would invite you to do, there's definitely no cord cutting. What it is holding yourself in love and compassion. What part of you feels guilty for receiving this? Do you feel guilty because it was either the money or him? And now now that it's the money, I would rather have him. Is it guilt because you don't feel like you deserve it? Is it guilt because you didn't feel like you earned it? Is it, and then getting that clarity on where that guilt is coming from? Because absolutely, that's immediately what I felt, is that the rejection of the money is because there's a guilt, a feeling of not deserving. I didn't earn it, so therefore it's not mine. Or even a felt sense like this was the exchange for my son's life, which there's no monetary value you could ever put on his life. It doesn't matter what money was given for the case or the situation, or even what money he earned, right? So it's really a less of a release, a let go of, and more of a holding and a loving of the parts of you that don't feel like you deserve it, or that you're not worthy of it, or that it was an unequal exchange. And maybe you're even feeling angry. Maybe there's some residual anger, definitely sadness. Of course, there's the grieving, and please allow that. Never apologize for your tears. Never apologize for your emotions.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, I think it's a combination. You hit the nail on the head. I think it's a combination of a few things. At first, it's like, you know, this or my son, and then okay, well, I can't obviously have him. So I have this. So how do I accept it and trust my, I mean, I trust myself financially. I'm not going to go blow it or anything like that. If anything, I almost don't want to touch it, but it's and yeah, and it is beautiful. And yeah, he is my spirit guide. You said the one day, and I loved it, about how spirits, they do signs and they can manipulate stuff. And I think you had said something about TikTok or internet. I swear he's what brought me to you to do this course this last week and a bit. So he has also sent me, I'm not tech savvy, and I didn't even know that I had TikTok, but I got an email after he passed. And anyways, it took me to, yes, I do have a TikTok, or an account, whatever. And it took me, and I had all these videos that he had sent me, and even my daughter and stuff. And it was, you're a good mom and I love you. And, even if you're having a bad day, mom, you're still a good mom. Even if blah, 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 you're still a good mom. And it was this, oh my God, it broke me to tears because it was after I didn't know beforehand that he had sent it. And yeah, and he sent me lots of stuff other times too. And yeah, the dimes and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It just, when you were talking about that today, I'm like, wow, man, this is hitting me because that's, like I said, I'm still in the works of dealing with it. Like I said, through banks and lawyers and everything else, but it was just a matter of wrapping my brain around. I know it was a good thing. I mean, even on his work benefit forms, he didn't put my name. He put mom, M-U-M. Who's your beneficiary? Mom. His work's like, well, who's your mom?
You need to put a full name there, son.
Yeah, like who's your mom? But that was like, no, it's mom. Mom's my person, Mom. Right? But yeah, it's just, I guess, like you said, trusting and forgiving or doing what I have to do to accept and stuff. I guess you said about earning, I guess that, that kind of hit me when you said that, because I was told, it's funny because I think you must have been, or you've heard them from other people, some of the things, money, nothing in life is for free. If you want something done, do it yourself. You got to earn, all these things, right? Even when it comes to other stuff. But yeah, no, heard those things. And we by no means were rich as children growing up. My mom was really good at, the appearance, but that we, weren't. So yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. That was my only thing.
Yeah. And I love that. All that's been, and what's really beautiful is that there's so much, like, as it relates to our relationship to money. Like, if we wanted to, and so with these exercises, we often like touch on, like, I say these things because I want you to feel what's alive for me. Because not everything that I say is going to be alive for everyone. And alive is the better word, because I wanted to say triggered, but in other words, because you can feel it inside your body. You're like, ooh, okay. So yeah, what is alive? Yeah, what's alive for you? That feels alive. In other words, that's alive in your body. It's alive in your being. There's a part of you that feels guilty. There's a part of you that feels shameful. There's a part of you that, and you get to now, it's like, okay, now I know that's there. Now I know that there's some deeper work that I can do around this particular piece. And you've got the tools, tapping. You can talk about it. When you get off this call, for any of you guys here, what comes up for you, get off the call and be like, okay, some stuff came up for me just then. And you can tap about it. You can talk about it out loud. God is listening. The divine is listening. Your son is listening, helping you. Talk out loud, speak out loud. Okay. Wow. That just came up for me. I'm recognizing that I'm feeling guilt around this money and receiving it. Show me what I need to know about this guilt. Show me what I need to know. Show me, is there anything that else that I need to know about? Are there any stories attached to this? Where did this begin? Is this from this lifetime or another lifetime? And just you're inviting all of that to come to the surface. And as you ask, you receive. And so then you're tapping and you're like, okay, I'm ready to let that go. I'm ready to let go of those beliefs. I'm ready to let go of that guilt. I'm ready for that. And you get to say it out loud. It's your divine decree, Gladius, divine decrees. We're taught, I'm ready to let go of that guilt. I'm ready to let go of feeling guilty because I outlived my son, or I'm ready to let go of the guilt because I didn't protect him. There's the mama guilt, right? Like, I'm meant to protect you. I'm meant to keep you alive. That is my responsibility. So I really feel it goes way deeper than just the money. It's not just the money in abundance and this money stories. It's beyond that. It's this, okay, my role and responsibility as a mom. Did I fulfill my role and responsibility as mom? Did I protect you as I was meant to protect you? I was meant to protect you. You weren't meant to protect me. But those are beliefs. Is that really true? No, we know that when they come in, they're not tiny little souls. They're infinite, vast, limitless souls. And so oftentimes, yeah, the exact role of our children is to be a provider, a protector, a teacher in so many ways. So allowing yourself to really get into and talk out loud, just let yourself, we could call it venting. It's like as if you were journaling. You're like, oh, this is frustrating. This is annoying. This is sad. This is hurt. And you just talk out loud and tap. And you feel the moment that you speak those words out loud and you give it a voice, the moment you give all of that guilt a voice, that shame a voice, and the moment that you start, it's almost like a floodgate opens and you can't stop. And you're like, oh, wow. And you'll say things and you won't even know that you thought that. You won't even know that you felt that until it comes out of your mouth, because it's like you've opened this channel between your body, which is your subconscious, and you're like, oh, okay, now it is safe for me to speak these things into the world. And you're going to have stuff come up for you that you didn't even know was there. And Bashar says that once it comes into awareness, it's gone. It's on the way out. It's done. And so it comes up to be so you're just becoming aware as it's leaving. So yeah, just sit with it and allow. It's like, okay, yay, thank you so much for recognizing that there's more for me to explore here. And then give yourself space to just ask, okay, what's there? What is coming up for me? My favorite thing to do is to go outside and to do it outside, to go sit in nature with my feet on the ground, my face in the sun. And then I call in the divine. And I'm like, okay, this is a conversation with me and God, the conversations with God. And it's not about trying to fix it. It's not about trying to like change it necessarily. It's just saying like, okay, this is there and I'm ready to let that go. It's not serving me anymore. And I'm ready to feel excited about this money and grateful for this money. I'm ready to maybe even start to think of ways in which you can invest in yourself, or instead of hoarding it, right? Because I want to offer this final piece. I love your frugality. And I love that you've been able to you've learned how to manage and work with money. And also sometimes that comes from not having it, which has been my family. Right. And so sometimes our frugal nature and the reason I'm bringing that up is because you said you part of you wants to just leave it alone and not touch it.
When you brought up about the friend who basically became a hoarder.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a hoarder in some senses, but I have a hard time letting stuff go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was my mission this week too. Being it's nice here is to finally start going through. I mean, it doesn't help too that I accumulated my mom's stuff. I accumulated a bunch of my dad's stuff, so, and then it's like, okay, really, are my other two kids gonna want to know?
Yeah.
Like certain stuff that I'm hanging on to. So
I hear you. You're like, okay, now we've got 4 households of stuff.
Yeah.
What do I want to do with that? Do I want to, find what brings you joy that you want to remember them by? Hold on to that in a sacred space. But yeah, I think that in of itself is going to be a really powerful practice for you. It's so wild how the act of purging our closet or purging our things in life can be one of the most spiritual practices that we can do.
Yeah, when I've slowly been doing it, and it's so
liberating.
Yeah, and feels so like so much lighter.
Freeing.
And
Yeah.
I started about a year ago saying, because of course that was, I was dealing with I had dealt with my mom, and then I was dealing with my dad over a year ago, like even before my son, and it was like, oh my gosh, less is more.
Mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm.
like, I just want what's in this room, my bedroom. I could live in a little tiny home. I don't need all of this. I don't like, what do I need every kitchen gadget known to man when I don't use it? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's like literally, oh, a salad spinner. Oh, I should get that, in the past, right? Oh, I've used it once, like, yeah, so it's like, yeah, I'm like, nope, I don't need it. And my boy, before he passed, that was one of the things he said too, because I'm like, man, I haven't used my, I don't know, stuff to make the trays that you make
Ice cube.
casseroles and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, and I have probably about 5 muffin trays, and I haven't baked muffins in a couple years, right? Because the kids are older, and I'm just like, he's like, Mom, get rid of it. He goes, if you decide you want to start baking again, go to the secondhand store and buy it back.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the Marie Kondo mentality, which I love. I ask myself all the time, if I haven't picked this up in 3 years, 2 years, then am I holding on to it because I need it? Well, maybe not.
Is that does it, the little like Asian girl? I watched her and she was like, yes. Yeah, I watched her. I loved that.
That's what spark joy. That's what she asked. Does this spark joy? Does it? And yes, I'm going to be real with you. Most of the things in my bedroom are simply to spark joy in my life. My crystals, my flowers, my Buddhas, my beautiful tapestries. Like these are to spark joy in my life. But if it is something that is stuffed in a closet, stored away, and you haven't touched it, you haven't wore it, another thing that I highly recommend, clothing. Everything carries a frequency, and clothing. I was guided recently to go through my closet and get rid of all of the stuff that I used to go partying in, all of the stuff that I used to go out drinking in, all of the clothes that were that old version of me. And it was
the what if I get back to that size?
Right. Well, yes, exactly. Yeah.
I have that. I'm struggling with that because I'm like, no, but those are like American Eagles that my daughter bought, and I won't spend $100 and some on a pair of jeans. So I'm like, but what if but what if but at the same time, I'm comfortable with who I am as my size and everything. But I'm like,
what if you always had the money to be able to buy everything that you needed? Or what if the universe was always providing what you needed when you needed it? What if when you're back that size that somebody gifts you a whole wardrobe of that size? So there's there's that stepping into the unlimited possibilities of what's available. And my favorite thing to do, is to donate it or give it to friends and family. I do clothing swaps with my friends. We all get together and we bring all of our clothes that we're not wearing and we share. And it's like, oh, so we give it new life. I have a couple of family members that can wear some of my clothes. My niece can wear my clothes now. Some of my old clothes from my old partying days where it's like I was a size 0, she can wear that stuff. So I get to see it on her. And I'm like, yes, it's being worn. It's being used. It's being loved. It's not sitting in a closet just taking up space. And so, that, and then donating it. And I'm like, it gets to be loved again. If I'm not loving it, if I'm not getting to wear it, love it, give it the attention that it deserves, then somebody else should.
That's true.
Right? Which feels really good. And again, even just having that mentality in and of itself is going to be an abundant mentality where the universe is going to reward you swimmingly. And it already has in beautiful ways, but also my love. My heart goes out to you to go through that much loss in a couple of years. I really pray that you have loved ones and community and friends that you can lean into when times get tough or hard. But let's be real. Yeah, I know. I kind of felt, where are you living? Where do you live? Sable Beach. It actually says on your thing.
Ontario, Canada.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's about 3 hours north of Toronto. So,
and what's beautiful area, but you guys have less densely populated. You get lots of greenery and a lot of outdoor space. But I've had
and love that. And right now we've been snow belted this winter, like huge, like the biggest amount of snow I think I've seen in probably 15 years. So yes, but the sun is out today and I can't wait to start getting out there and
Beautiful.
enjoying the nature again because winter's not good for me. I'm an outdoor person.
A lot of us actually. Let's be real. We have a special connection to the earth. Her heartbeat is the Schumann resonance is what we need to survive. So when we don't get to spend, there's a reason why wintertime is the most heavily mental health declines because we don't get to be outside, but it's serving, right? The winter serves. It's a time to go within. It's a time to slow down. And so now, yay for spring. I don't know about you guys, but there's this beautiful thing. And it was a girl. It says a girl was talking to a flower and she whispers, the spring is when I bloom too. And I believe that's the same for all of us. This is when we tend to bloom. This is when we tend to bloom. This is when we feel actionable and ready to do, to create, to connect. So enjoy your time outside, enjoy your purging process, see it as a sacred ceremony. And what is your son's name? Braden. Just sending so much gratitude and love for Braden and the way in which he watches over you and has guided you. He was and is an incredibly wise, ancient soul, a star-seeded soul who came in ablaze and taught you so much and is forever watching over you. He knew that he did what he came to do, and now he gets to be on the other side, and he can serve you more at this particular phase of your life and your journey from where he's at. So Braden, thank you so much. And Danielle, thank you for being such a beautiful mama to Braden and all your other kids.
Thank you. Thanks, Lacey.
Love you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. All right, beloveds. I love you all. I love you all. Such a safe space for you guys to feel the full breath of the human emotions. All of you is welcome here. And I know it can feel intimidating. We're on Zoom and there's hundreds of people watching replays, but every single one of those people is just sharing love with you, with each of you. You can get the chat just lit up of people sending you love. Big hug to you, mama. So much love to you, Danielle. So much, sending you so much love, prayers. And so, yeah, Danielle, letting yourself be seen, you allowed us to help you and hold you and support you and love you. So thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. 2 more hours. We got 2 hours until our afternoon call. So I'll see you back here in 2 hours. Go put your feet on the ground, your face in the sun, write down anything that came up for you. Go write your love letter to money. And I'll post the mantra and the divine decree in our Facebook group, and I'll send it out in email soon. All right, guys, I love you guys.